Hey, girlfriends. I'm Allie. Welcome to Girlfriend2Girlfriend. Thanks for joining me tonight. So, unfortunately, Lisa Denning, the wine chef, couldn't join us this evening, but she has a really good reason. And that is she got an appointment for the COVID vaccine. So, I encouraged her to stay put and get her vaccine. And she'll be back either later this month or in April to tell us about her journey with COVID. I mean, after all, in her business, being a wine chef, she relies on her very famous senses, and that is the sense of her smell and taste. So, Lisa, I hope that it was a successful journey, and we'll see you later this month or next month. So, in order to make things, run smoothly, I asked Jenna Natale to join me this evening. And Jenna and I have agreed to kind of banter back and forth.
Like
Um,
girlfriends, the ones like the kind that we are.
yeah, but we're really going to girlfriend. And Jenna has talked me into doing a whole rapid fire question session here where you're all just going to get to know me really well. Kind of
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
But
Well, listen, Allie, this is what girlfriends are for.
that's
I
right.
mean,
That's
you
right.
ask and I deliver. You wanted entertainment, so here it is.
Well, you know what, Jenna, I really appreciate you, stepping in. And for everyone that's tuning in, Jenna is always behind the scenes here, making sure that Girlfriend2Girlfriend runs smoothly. But not only are we girlfriends, but we actually have a life outside of girlfriending.
We
We
do.
work together. So we may know each other all too well. So I told her nothing was off limits. So to go ahead.
Well, don't worry, it won't get back to the water cooler. What happens stays between us girlfriends.
And about
Um,
32,000 people tuning in.
it's just, I mean, it's going to be recorded for all of eternity, but there's really no pressure, I promise.
Humana, 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 humana. Just a couple of questions, but you're right, Jenna. So, we talk about, girlfriending, and, that's my word instead of networking. I girlfriend with people, with girlfriends, and not with people, just with girlfriends. And that's, I think, the most rewarding thing, right? Because you start to
For
get to
sure.
know someone, and sometimes you share a little too much, and then the secrets and the stories just get, even more exciting and embellished, and who knows where they're going to go. So I'm afraid
Oh,
of
yeah.
what you do know and what you don't know and what you're going to find out.
Well, lucky for me and you have known each other long enough that I knew just the right angles to start my questions off, just to keep it a little interesting. And are you ready, or do you need another breather, or are we ready to
I don't know if I
go?
should go get a glass of wine or a shot of vodka.
You might want both. So, I mean, I just wanted to go right for the jugular, right? Because I'm sure that you are one of how many girls?
Six.
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 Um,
I
so
have
so
five
Al
sisters.
and Allie's the youngest. So we all know that she's the favorite, but I want to know who's the favorite sister for Allie Jabbour.
Oh, that's such a hard question. Well, the right answer is they're all my favorite at different
Mm-hmm.
times.
Okay, and they're all probably blowing up the Facebook as we speak, saying you're a liar.
You
So
know what? My sisters are all so different, right? So we're like, it spans 18 years. But in all fairness, my sister who passed away, Regina, was probably all of our favorites. But I'm just not saying that because she passed away. I'm saying it because this chick knew how to light up a room, make you feel good. You would pee your pants, eat a dozen cookies, and like just fall asleep hilariously laughing. She was that kind of a person. But the best part about her was when you told her a secret, she she was the worst keeper, and you would
that was
catch
the
her in
best
it.
part about her. What do you
Because you
mean?
would catch her in it. You would catch her. You'd be like, I'm going to tell you the secret. And she'd hold it for like 5 seconds. And it was
Aw.
like the game of telephone. So she's sorely missed, but she's definitely the favorite.
Okay, all right. So that was a fair answer. And I don't think all your other sisters are too angry about it.
Probably
You
not.
spun it
My
right.
phone's okay now. Oh
The hate mail's coming. The hate
no!
mail's
Yeah.
coming.
The hate mail.
So I also happen to know about Allie that she has, first of all, a gorgeous home, and I so sorely miss visiting it in the era of
Oh
COVID. But Allie has possibly one of the most perfect homes I've ever seen. It's almost annoying. Um,
no.
so my question is, since everything always seems so put in its perfect spot, what is like your biggest pet peeve in the home?
Oh
Like
my God.
what does your son do that really just like gets under your skin? Not to
I
call
hate
Harrison
piles of stuff. Like I can't walk if I walk in the house and like the counter in the kitchen has stuff on it, like the water bottle, the mail, like random stuff. It just drives me crazy.
So does
So
my office drive you nuts?
a little bit. I just hate
Oh,
stuff. Like
and
I just want to move it. And I'm a big like purger, like throw it away, throw it away. Do you need this? Throw it away. Harrison's like drinking it. Or Mary Kate's like, I'm like, can you throw that
are you
away?
done?
I know that's kind of like awful, but yeah, I hate
Who's the biggest
that again.
culprit in the house? Is it your daughter or your son?
It's probably my daughter.
Oh, MK. But MK hoards shoes, which is a very
Yeah.
good thing. Now, do we
Oh,
throw out the piles of shoes? We don't throw
oh,
out the piles of shoes.
honey, we just did a major shoe edit. A major shoe edit for
Oh, that's
both of
right. I
our
think I might have
closets.
gotten.
Yeah. Shoes are
That's funny.
definitely number one in this house for all of us, for the three of us.
So that makes me jump to a question that I was saving for later. But so
Uh-oh.
is it safe to say that shoes are like your favorite accessory of choice?
100%.
Okay. So if you had to only buy one brand of shoes for the rest of eternity, and MK didn't get to buy, well, the other ones for you that you wanted, you guys would have to commit as a household to a one brand of shoe family. What brand would it be?
Oh, crap. Well, you can't wear Louboutins all day long.
Why not? First of all,
I'd say
I
Jimmy
can't, but you
Choo.
probably could. Jimmy
Jimmy Choo.
Choo? Why
Jimmy
Jimmy
Choo.
Choo?
Oh my God, the pointy toe. Remember what Gail said? She's like, you
Oh
need the
yeah. Are you
pointy
kidding me? I was on
toe.
Amazon looking at all the affordable pointy toes she was telling us about.
Exactly. I think for every woman, a pointy toe, Gail's right. The pointy toe, it's sexy. You don't have to get them like in 5-inch heels. I have them in 3 and 4. So I would say Jimmy Choo, forget the sneakers. I'll work out barefoot.
And it's so
I'm
funny
good.
that you say that about the pointy toe because I remember being like a much younger woman and pointy toe was like, ooh, you don't wear pointy toes. That's
I
like
know they were.
weird. It's all about the round. And I don't know. I guess like I would love to hear what Gail would say about this when pointy toe really came back. But now that's all I have is pointy toed heels.
Yeah. I have a couple of round-toed ones, which of course are much more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But the pointy toe, it's definitely edgy and they're just sexy. They make your
They
foot look
are.
better. I
My
don't know.
mom told me when I was a little girl, she was like, one day they're gonna come back. And I was like, yeah, okay, like disco, but they actually did come back. Okay, so now that we know that it's Jimmy Choo that you're gonna have in your closet forever, I'm gonna
Yes.
go back to your pet peeves. What is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to men? I have a lot.
Let me think here. Well, the obvious one, the given one is the toilet seat up, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
like not almost like not even an issue anymore because they're just like it comes with the territory.
I think too many t-shirts. Like what do you do with all those t-shirts from like high school? Like why? Why do we need to know that
That's a good point.
like it
Oh,
just
I'm
like
throwing out all of my husband. And like all I do is fold them, but I never see them wear any of them. So
no,
I'm
they
like,
just and they mysteriously end up in the wash, but you've never seen them. So, too many t-shirts. You know, I think well, you know what? I was going to say like sports on Sunday, but I've gotten to really like that. Like, I don't mind watching
really?
sports on Sunday. Yeah. I mean, there's really not a major pet peeve except that the toilet seat and probably too
And
many t-shirts.
t-shirts. You're
Yeah.
very simple. Oh my
I know.
God.
Very simple. I
Well,
know.
my husband gives me a lot of ammunition.
I just closed my son's door so I don't have to look in his room anymore.
Okay,
know?
so on the same vein, so that's men. What is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to other women?
Women who just have no confidence in themselves, who are
Yeah.
constantly picking on themselves. I have friends like at the gym. I'm like, oh my gosh, you look great. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so fat. I'm like, I can see through you. You are so thin and you're so, muscular. But,
Mhm,
women that don't have the confidence, that just bums me out. That's just such a
mhm.
pet peeve. Don't put
Awesome.
yourself down, go for it.
Mhm. That's interesting. Oh, I thought it was gonna be like catty women, but and I bet you that, inconfidence does breed things like catty, right?
Caddy, I feel like as you get older, you just become you don't hear that noise as much.
Mhm.
I've really learned how to tune it out because I just don't think I'm much more into let's just be kind,
Right.
and tolerate everybody. And I know that that's like such the, Miss Universe, pageant question answer, but, I
Yeah, but
try
when
not
you're
to go there.
comfortable. Yeah, and you're at a level of comfort where you don't need to feed into those negative things because negative breeds negative, right?
And we're always, it's so easy to go negative.
Right.
We are always faced with it and it's really easy to go that way, but I just nope, I don't want to hear it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And I could sit here and talk with you about everything negative that I feel about myself, but at the end of the day, what's that going to do?
Right. It's wasted energy.
Exactly.
So, kind of like on the topic of positivity, what is the best compliment that another person can give you?
That I made a difference in their life, that I helped them some way. Um,
So it's not your
and
pointed
then
toe shoes. That's not the compliment to give Ali Jabbour.
yeah, really. And then, conversely, the first time like I got up in front of a big, event and I, had to stand up in front of the world in my eyes, and
Mhm.
hold my own and then, get off the stage and I was told I did a really good job. Like that made me feel like $1 million because, everybody gets nervous. There's always trepidation, but I'm told often that I have a big smile and that, I make people feel very comfortable. So that's pretty cool.
So, can I share a story about you that I don't even know if you remember?
Oh no. Okay.
No, and it's a positive one, and it has to do with that. You just like it's so funny because so before you and I met each other, you actually spoke at an event that I was organizing, right? A
Oh,
couple of years
that's
ago. It was
right.
about 3 or
That's
4 years
right.
ago now, and I was brand new to the industry, and so I forget exactly how we needed a speaker, and somebody said, I have the perfect speaker. Her name is Allie, and she'll just ace it. And and I was like, all right, I've never met her, and this is like totally out of my hands. But who the person who had given like their rubber stamp for you was amazing. So I said, you want to let this person won't steer me wrong, and we really need somebody. So we connected, and I remember hitting the person next to me. I was like, she's really good. He was like, I told you she's really good. And I was just like amazed by how good you are on
Oh, thank
stage. And I mean,
you.
we gave you like names that were so hard to pronounce, and there was no hesitation. And I don't even know if I knew how to pronounce them all, but you were like so ace. And every time I think about you at a speaking engagement, I think about that day being like, damn, I want to work with her.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh my God, it was so
15
long ago
years
too.
later.
Anyway, so give me a raise after this, right? Right.
Yeah, okay, it's all
Um,
good.
just,
It's done.
just kidding.
But
Um,
like this is really fun because, we didn't practice this. It's just kind of like, you're shooting at me. And I think it's important for people to get to know me. And I'm
yeah.
always asked like questions, like, for example, like we see what you're wearing on top, but what are you wearing on the bottom? Well, am just wearing joggers because,
Joggers
and no shoes.
all day.
Next time I'll wear my Jimmy Choos, but yeah.
So, um, let's see, what's my next one? What was your favorite job? You don't have to say the one you have now.
Okay.
Let's
I'm
let's
not
take
going
that one
to.
out of the equation.
Okay.
Actually, what was your favorite job? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's there's definitely a toss up. So my very first job out of college, I worked in Germany for 3.5 years. So how could that not be my favorite? Right. living in the middle of Europe. I'm 22 years old. I was living my best life. That was amazing. But then I came back to the United States and I commenced my career, in media, and I worked for the New York Times. So, gotta say, you working for the New York Times, a brand like that, and getting a start from so many smart people,
Mhm.
the best and the brightest in the
Oh,
business
sure.
worked for the New York Times. And matter of fact, Lisa, who was going to be on tonight, I met her. We both worked together
Oh,
at the
did
New
you
York
really?
Times. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so getting the opportunity to work for a company and a brand that's known worldwide was just amazing. And to this day, I mean, if I can ever slip it into a conversation, I'm like, but I started at the New York Times. Like, you know what that is, right? It's
That's
pretty
so
big.
cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Now, okay, follow-up question. So you lived in Germany for how many years?
3.5 years.
Do you speak German?
I learned how to speak German so I could survive on the economy there.
Mhm.
Or else I was just
It's a
going to
hard
eat
language.
bread and chicken because that's all I could say. Yeah, it really was a tough language. When I got hired by this company, they had, I think they had 50 offices around the world. I
Wow.
just happened to have gotten sent to Germany. And I lived in a small town called Schweinfurt at first, which is the ball bearing capital for World War II. Really
Okay.
exciting. Near the Czechoslovakian border. But you know what the best part about it was is that here's a girl, the youngest, I'm the youngest of six. Never thought my parents would, give me the blessing to go.
That was
But it
gonna be
was
my next question.
yeah, but it was such a risk, and it was really that risk that gave me the opportunity to work for the New York Times because I didn't go to an Ivy League college, but they liked the fact that I took a risk and I studied abroad. And I tell you, and I would tell you this, if you get an opportunity, anybody, to work abroad, go for it
Yeah.
because the it's just an endless education. I mean, you're just soaking up everything. So,
And I'm sure that everything probably seems easy in comparison because you could have the most difficult job in the world, but at least it's not in a foreign country where you don't know how to ask for anything other than bread or chicken.
oh, trust me, it's like I had so many experiences. The first time I ordered, I'm looking at the menu and there it says ice cafe. What does that mean? Iced coffee, right? Iced cafe.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can do this. I ordered iced cafe. Well, they brought me a cup of coffee and a scoop of ice cream.
Oh, see, I would be
So
thrilled to get that
I
instead of an iced coffee, just to be clear.
so I had to learn how to speak the language pretty quickly.
Oh, that is so cool. So, kind of related, kind of not, but what was your favorite year of life? Like age 0 to now. What was your year? Everybody has that year.
Oh my
Like
gosh,
22 was my year. I don't
that
really
was
know
your
why,
year?
but it was.
Oh my gosh, like, well, I'm so old. Can I pick one for every decade?
No.
What was my favorite year? Well, and it's funny, a friend of mine, we were actually talking about that, and I said, I feel like right now, and I kind of get emotional, but like I am in such a great place. Like I love my job. My kids are thriving, my family's doing well, I'm living my best life to quote my daughter. So I feel like right now,
Really?
it's taken a lot of years to get to this point, to feel secure and to have that confidence. Um, but I really feel that way. And
That's
most of
cool.
all, because I've been able to do two things that I really love. And that is, work at a job that I love and my side hustle that I really
Mhm.
love. The girlfriend to girlfriend, girlfriends club. So I would say
That's really
right now.
special. I have to say that's really special to say that you're living like your best year because I think so many of us now I'm like, why did I say 22? That seems so sad. But we should all be striving for our best year, I
Well,
guess.
you know what, Jenna? It hasn't been the best year out there
Hmm.
because of COVID, but maybe that's the silver lining. Maybe the silver lining for me is that there was this time to be more introspective
Hmm.
and, to spend time with my family and the kids. So right now, it's really I have some amazing people in my life. I just feel so rich. I really do.
Wow, blew that one out of the water.
Okay.
Um, so now since you're so present, and now we're gonna make you go back a little bit.
Oh, vodka or
So,
gin?
huh?
Vodka or gin?
No, not yet. That one comes later. So what was the biggest secret that you kept from your parents when you were growing up?
Oh my God, that I smoked in Germany.
You smoked?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm telling everybody.
I
In
did.
Germany, though, I will say in Germany, you almost have to smoke, and that's still true today.
It
I
was
was in
just so,
Germany and I was turning down cigarette, and I mean, I was there in 2014. I was like,
yeah,
I don't want that, no. And then they were like, oh, you want chewing tobacco? I'm like, no. But wow, yeah,
I
wow.
did. I
So I'll
smoked
validate
and
that. That's a cultural thing.
it was crazy. And like I bought cigarettes and I bought Cartier cigarettes, of course, they're bougie.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I smoked and I didn't love it at all.
No,
And
well,
I
you're
could,
not
it was just like
not
a thing.
necessary there.
But at night, and people, you eat dinner late in Europe, so you'd have dinner like 8 o'clock, and then you would roll right out, and like you'd be smoking all night, and you'd be in clubs that were smoke filled.
Yes. Still today, I was at a club in Germany and we were like,
Yeah,
what? And you
yeah.
like, and now like, you look at them and they're like, oh, did you want one? It was very funny, the juxtaposition, but I'm sure it was even easier to fall into it then because everybody smoked.
And then you'd wake up with a smoke hangover.
Right?
It was like from the smoke, it was just like you were so fogged and gross. It was just awful. So I couldn't wait to kick the habit the minute I got back to the United States.
Wow. And you're
Yeah, I
so
mean,
health conscious. I'm blown away.
I wouldn't say that like I smoked, all day. It was
No,
really a night
social.
thing, but
Social.
still, I smoked, and that my parents, well, I guess they know now, up in heaven.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Um, okay, so we've gotten you in trouble with your parents. Now let's get you in trouble with your children. Who's really the favorite child?
Oh, snap, Daisy the dog, and I leave it at that.
That's too easy. Too easy.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. I
All
can't
right,
believe
we'll let you keep the dog because your
okay.
children could be watching right now, and the last thing we need is them to converge on your live stream.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
So on the topic of being a mom, tell me something good about being a single mom. What's a positive?
Being a single mom.
Like, what does that mean?
you know, the positive about being a single mom is gosh, there's a lot. One of them is that you are the one that is completely shaping these humans. And and conversely, that's the worst part because you are the only one that is shaping these humans. But every single day, the challenge is real, and that challenge often turns into a positive. And the positive comes when I get a Mother's Day card and a Father's Day card.
Hmm.
The positive comes when I get Valentine's Day flowers from the kids. I mean, those are crazy. The hard part is when there's only one of you and they both need help with homework. The hard part is that there is only one of you. And I used to, and my kids are 18 months apart, and when they both want me, I'd have them each take a knee. One head here, and they will attest to it. They'd both
Oh,
want me at the same time. And then the other hard part is that they'll leave and I'll be alone.
oh, stop.
And I think about that, so that's the other hard part. But,
I think that's
we'll
hard
see.
for parents in general.
Mhm.
I have a lot of friends who have single parents, and it's hard for them. I think
Yeah.
it's hard for any parent because that is it's a rip away. The last time I was on, I think we talked a little bit about how my mom was kind of like emotionally scarred by me
Yes.
exiting the home, and it's still emotionally scarring. And it's been 6 months since I moved out. If you could believe
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it's hard for us. We get so used to it. And, when
I
I
dread
say
that as a woman without a child. I actually dread in the future that feeling in the future.
it's hard. And, if I had a partner, we'd be planning like, oh, when they make that exit, we're going to do this. But, for now, I'm doing fine and I'll make my exit or figure life out, or you just never know who I may meet or where I may go. But, as for now, I savor these moments. And I have to say that as the kids are getting older, it's getting better.
Mhm.
And, they're a lot of fun and they just laugh at me. And I'm so glad that I'm pure entertainment every night. It's just lovely.
Pure entertainment.
Pure entertainment. Oh yeah.
So we went through that was some heavy stuff. That was some heavy shit. Um, do you want to do some fun ones?
Okay.
Why don't we close out like a rapid fire? Like I'm just gonna say like a question and you just
Okay.
need to like give me like what's the answer.
Okay.
Okay. What's your worst habit?
Cleaning the counters.
Oh, so horrible. What was the most shallow reason you didn't go on a second date?
Too short. He was too short. He was really nice, but he was too short.
Oh,
I
you're very
know.
tall though, and so are your Louis Vuittons and your Jimmy Choos, to be fair.
Right. I didn't even have
Um,
a moment. Okay.
what was the worst date you ever had?
Okay, prom, junior prom. I was going to the senior prom, waiting for my date. The doorbell rings. I answer the door. It's my date's father asking to speak to my mother. Allegedly, my
What?
date was in jail because he was using his dirt bike. So I went to the prom by myself for 3 hours. Really bad.
Oh
Really,
my
really
God.
bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel any better. Mine should have been in jail. I think he went to jail a couple days later. Um, I wish I was kidding. What would make you immediately swipe right? Right is good, to be
Oh yeah,
clear.
I know, right?
All right, I don't know.
Um, Immediately swipe right. Great personality.
But you can't know that from that
That's true.
pictures.
Oh, you mean from the picture swipe
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
know what
Okay.
swipe right means.
Oh, handsome, tall. I know it's
Okay.
awful, but it's true.
What makes you swipe left?
Short. But I wouldn't know that they're short.
Susie, can I have a
Goofy
picture of you to
looking.
scale?
Goofy. Bad teeth. Bad teeth.
Okay.
No.
Bad teeth. That's a
Hard,
good one. That's
hard,
a good
hard
one.
no. The
Okay.
hardest no. Very.
Favorite drink. Favorite drink.
Stolia orange on the rocks with muddled orange. So good.
I could have
Love my
told that
vodka.
one.
And I love
Have you
my
ever lied
rosé.
about being sick so you could stay home from work?
I'm sure.
If anybody in your family could win an award for being the most annoying, who would it be?
Oh, in the immediate Daisy the dog.
Oh no,
If
Daisy's
any,
the
if
cutest.
anybody in my family, oh my gosh, probably one of my brother-in-laws. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you ever break up with somebody just before a big holiday so that you didn't have to buy them a gift?
No, I would never do that.
That's
That's so
hard.
sad.
But there's been the moment where you're like, oh, Christmas is coming.
I know it's
I have to
like
get rid of this one.
hard to say. Yeah.
What's your least favorite part about family gatherings?
The small talk.
Politics.
Yeah.
What
Politics
is
and the small talk.
what's your favorite movie that you secretly know is actually terrible?
Eat, pray, love.
Good one though.
But it's just Sex in the
It is
City.
pretty terrible though.
Sex in the City too. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah, that one's awful. I'll give you, okay, 4 marks are almost out of time. Have you ever bribed or flirted with the police officer to get out of a ticket?
Oh, hell yeah.
I cry immediately.
I
And they
didn't
immediately
bribe.
apologize.
Yeah, I didn't bribe, but I begged. I'm like, I have the flu. I don't feel well.
Oh my God. Too funny.
Absolutely.
Do you ever do the bee in the car trick?
No.
I'm so sorry I missed that stop sign. There was a bee stuck in my car and it was buzzing all over my head and I just started panicking. I'm really so glad that you pulled me over so that I could get a minute to get it out. And they're like, oh wow, that's what you've never heard the bee in a car trick?
No, and I love that though.
Oh, I've gotten many accounts with that one.
All right, one more.
One
more
more.
good one.
Oh man, there's so many good ones. What's the most embarrassing thing you ever did on a date?
Embarrassing thing. Probably, oh, I don't know. I was gonna say probably have too much wine. I don't know.
Okay, Okay, we'll follow it up with one more. Have you ever danced on a table when you were drunk?
Yes, of course.
In Germany with a cigarette in her mouth.
It's all good. Couple of wines. I can sing a great Oklahoma. You have no idea.
God bless. Congratulations, Ali Jabbour. You did it. You answered all of Jenna and Natale's rapid fire
And
questions.
Jenna, I need to do this to you next time, but thank you so much for, I mean, this was a really quick turnaround. And Lisa, I hope you got your vaccination.
Yes.
And, you know,
good reason to miss an episode. Good reason.
Exactly. We'll get you back in here. But Jenna, thank you so much. And to everyone out there, I hope you had as much fun as I did. I don't know. I know you probably have like 30 more questions. We'll probably have to have a part 2 to this.
Well, I apologize in advance for any crazy phone calls from your family members that you get after this episode. I'm sure your kids are waiting on the other side of the door.
They are over there. And I just want to say thank you once again. And next week,
it's what girlfriends do.
Thank you. You're right. You totally stepped up, girlfriend. And next week, we're going to be girlfriending with the creators of a new collection, clothes collection that's coming out called the Resort Collection with a Z. Francis and Catherine will be here, and we're going to learn why in the middle of the pandemic, they decided to create a clothing label. So until next week, I'll see you then. Jenna, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me, girlfriend.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks, Jenna.
Bye, everybody.